What is up, guys? Welcome back to CageChat MMA. We're here for the UFC Fight Island 7 Watchalong, of course. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just sorting out my audio. Sorry. Yes, we're here, and Dana White's just about to make an announcement on Khabib Nurmagomedov, so we shall be reacting to that, of course. Many thinking that he's going to be retiring for good. Obviously, Dana White and him met the other day or this week. And we're just about to hear the breaking news to that. Some great fights so far. That last one, Soriano getting a knockout there. Let us know where you're watching from, of course, and get your predictions in for Max Holloway versus Calvin Kattar too. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching on Facebook, hit the follow and like button. If you're on Twitch, follow button as well. Just seeing what Dana has to say now. He's not going to type the division, Khabib, but okay, so yes, Khabib isn't officially retired, but it seems like he wants to challenge. From what Dana's just said, Khabib's pretty much, let me see something special from next week, and I'll decide whether I'm going to come back, which probably means he is going to come back as well. But it's going to be interesting. Obviously, he's on the hunt for 30-0, but he did retire after UFC 254 under pretty much supreme circumstances, 29-0. But yes, Khabib Nurmagomedov not fully retired. He is leaving the door open. Then you expected that, didn't you? A good payday for Khabib, a rematch with Conor McGregor. Expecting Charles Oliveira deserve a shot too, and the only one other than Tony Ferguson that's in that top 5 that hasn't got a chance yet. Obviously, Dan Hooker fights next week against Chandler. Maybe the winner of that could get a title shot. It's a fresh matchup, but of course, the money fight is McGregor versus Khabib too, or Khabib versus GSP, of course. But yes, let us know what you think about that. Khabib leaving the door open a little bit. Dana White made his announcement just then, and we move on to maybe the most fun fight of the night: Joaquin Buckley versus Alessi Di Chirico, of course. But yes, get your predictions in the comments down below as well. Give me 1 second, just sorting out all my screens. There we are, and we're back. If you're watching on Twitch, make sure to hit that follow button as well. We'll be doing a lot more content on here in terms of gaming. See a lot of Among Us and maybe Call of Duty, maybe things like that, games like that. So yes, make sure to hit that follow button if you're watching on Twitch. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure to hit that like and follow button, and let us know your predictions down below for Holloway versus Kattar. Do you think that the Blessed is going to be coming back into the win column, or is Boston's Finest probably going to get another win and move on to become a fully fledged title challenger? Hey JJ KSI 44. Hello. Watching fights. We are live. It's live. Definitely not recording. recorded. Yes, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're on the way to 200 subscribers. Let's get over the mark today. We won't, but we will be watching along too. If you're in the UK, you can watch it on BT Sport for free. Or if you're in the States, I think it's on ABC for the very first time, which is a historic day for MMA being on the major network in the US. First time it's been showing 3 at least in a long time. Buckley's coming up right now, lad. So he's the next fight after you see that highlight reel knockout that I think won knockout of the year. In fact, he's up against Alicia De Chirico. So yes, Habib has sort of come out of retirement. He's not fully closed the door in MMA. He just needs to see someone give him something to come back for, I guess is the right term and phrase. Joaquin Buckley is up next, guys. One of the breakout stars of last year, and definitely will be looking to improve on that this year. I'm excited to see Max Holloway back in the cage. Of course, the best is blessed. But he's had a rough time recently, hasn't he? Three losses out of his last 5, 2 on the bounce for the first time in his career, and he's looking a little bit stuck in his career right now. Perhaps maybe that's a little bit unfair because obviously he is a former featherweight champion. He's got 3 defenses to his name, beaten Jose Aldo twice. But there is something where you're looking at him going, maybe he needs a little break. He's taken a lot of damage. He takes something like 5 strikes per minute. He absorbs 5 strikes per minute, which is a lot when you're in a majority of 25-minute fights, of course, because obviously that's 25 strikes for absorbing per round. Times about 125 strikes absorbed per fight if it goes to distance. And I think 4 of the last 5, or the only one that hasn't is Brian Ortega. I can't show you the Buckley fight would get cancelled on here. Can't show the fights on Twitch or any platform, in fact. Maybe in the future, though. Yes, he's had a fantastic year. Obviously, the knockout of Impa Kasangane, and then obviously the knockout of Jordan Wright, which was equally as impressive, albeit maybe not as flashy. The camera down a bit. Give us your predictions to this fight in the comments down below. Joaquin Buckley or De Chirico, is the Italian going to get a stop over what is a very impressive highlight reel for Buckley? Obviously, the Italians had a good year last year. Marvin Vettori breaking into the top 5 after beating Hermanson in the middleweight division, or top 6, I think it is officially. But yes, it's going to be a fantastic fight nonetheless. Just in the ad break now, so my apologies. Hope we're getting to the action very soon. Obviously, Jericho coming off the 3-fight loss streak at the moment. Joaquin Buckley on a 2-fight win streak after that. Stunning, well, I'd say less than stunning debut against Kevin Holland. More stunning because of the talking they did inside the cage rather than the fight itself. A bit Kevin Holland on a very impressive performance, and Joaquin Buckley looked good considering he took the fight on 6-7 days notice, I think it was at the time. Should Khabib come back and fight one more, who would be your pick for opponent? I think the UFC and Dana at least wants that kind of fight, don't they? Recoup a bit of money, quite a fantastic performance because those two did have the biggest or not the most positive sort of the build up, I guess. The GSP fight would be good, or would you rather see Khabib still retired? I wonder. I think the fact that he's tempting fate if he keeps continuing, you know, putting one foot in and one foot out. I think if he's retired, he should stay retired. But then again, after that last performance against Justin Gaethje, I would have no problem watching him fight again. I think he's still very much in his prime, as was DC when he was talking about retirement. Oh dear, I'm just seeing one of my mates' tweets. Welcome, welcome, lad. Get your predictions in the comments. What are you making of Khabib not officially retiring, leaving one foot in the door with a return, depending on who impresses him most next week? Maybe get a couple of you to jump in it, maybe. And here we go. Let's have a quick look at the table, of course, for tonight. Buckley versus DeChirico, 12-3 versus 12-5. 5'10" versus 6 foot. So DeChirico coming in there just a couple inches taller, both 185, 76-inch reach, 76 reach for Buckley, of course, 2-inch reach advantage on his opponent DeChirico. But that 5-inch leg reach advantage there for the Italian does make me kind of scared. To be expecting him to maybe stay on the outside of the octagon for a little bit, but Joaquin Buckley's not going to come in, looking to have a light spy. He's going to come in fully full powered and look to get that knockout very quickly. Bruce Buffer doing his business. It's been a long 3 weeks, missed that voice, haven't we? No fights are going to be shown on here, I'm afraid. Good old Keith Peterson taking over for this one. Will this go to full 3 rounds? I doubt it. I very much doubt it. Both of these are going to want to get a knockout tonight. Worthy performance. And off we go. Should get a timer on it, but I'm using StreamYard. If anyone knows how to get a timer on StreamYard, it'd be nice to know. Oh, Buckley going in there for the kill already. He is looking for his 3rd win in a row. For the first time since 2016, he's not been on a streak that long. He's had a couple 2 and then 1 here and there. But he's certainly on a hot streak at the moment, isn't he, Buckley? Good minute here from Buckley. The choker with the high kick. Yeah, Buckley pretty much making his stance known in the middle of the octagon here. Not looking to make this a long night, I'd imagine. Good striking there. Buckley going into the clinch, not quite successful. Very much a striking battle at the moment. Buckley looking to get some openings. The Jericho not bowing down though. Oh, Buckley's out. Ouch. And that is all over. Buckley's out cold for the 2nd time in his UFC career. The Jericho ends the hot streak for now with a beautiful high kick. And Buckley was about to go into the takedown, and Jericho timed it perfectly, to be fair to him. And he's got the knockout. Don't let him stand up. Oh, he stood up now, but he's still very wobbly. Buckley, that was a brutal one. Head kick to the dome, and the power of him coming in for the takedown knocked him off. Knocked him out, but he's back up on his feet very quickly. One of those flash knockouts, not one of those too much that you see at a scary head kick knockout, but connects perfectly to the temple of the head kick. And that is that, and a bit of ground and pound, and Keith Peterson comes straight in and puts it there, and rightfully so. This main guy's got off to a flyer, 2 finishes in a row. And we'll get DC Cam for the banter of it. How nice is it to see fans back in the crowd as well? Only 2,000 there, of course, but better than the empty Apex, I guess, albeit the production of the Apex is fantastic. And we still saw some brilliant fights in there. I think having that the instant fan reaction, should we say, it makes it a little bit more special. That was a special one. Special knockout there from Jericho. Moves him, of course, up to 13-5 now, back in the win column. First one he's had since 2018, so it's been 2 and a bit years. He fought in July, so 2.5 years against Julian Marcos was his last win. But now he's started 2021 off in fantastic fashion. Obviously, got Chiesa and Magny on Wednesday as well. We're going back to back this week in Fight Island. But yeah, big upset there from Tashiriko. Bruce Buffer just making the official announcement now. See what he's got to say. He's saying he's very happy John Alex interviewing him as we all are. Best in the game for it. And commentating on fights, John Anik at the moment. Let us know where you're watching from if you're watching the card as well. Jonathan, if you're looking at for Holloway, it would be, I think we've got 3 fights after this. So about 10 off 10, I think. We just had the second main card, actually. And we've got Santiago Ponzinibbio returning after this. Carlos Condit, Matt Brown, of course. And then we finish with the main event. Max Holloway versus Calvin Kattar, which is going to be a potential fight of the year contender. I reckon both don't stand down, both stand in the middle. If you're expecting some good phone booth brawling, and it's definitely going 5 rounds because neither of these just give up, do they? We saw that with Calvin Kattar against Zabit Magomedsharipov, kept weathering on, kept going, but unfortunately ran out of time and lost it on the scorecards. But Dan Ige put a fantastic performance on against, and obviously Jeremy Stephens. We know the veteran of Jeremy Stephens. He finished him with a very brutal elbow. And a win tonight would certainly put him in the mix for a title opportunity. Obviously, Volkanovski is going to defend his title against Ortega at UFC 260. But you'd very much imagine the winner tonight gets the next opportunity. It'd be interesting if Brian Ortega beats Volkanovski, who he then fights. If it's a rematch with Volkanovski or a rematch with Max Holloway, should he get a win tonight. But I don't know. I think it's hard not to. I'm a Max Holloway fan, so it's hard not to back against Max Holloway. But Calvin Kattar is on a very good hot streak at the moment, and Max Holloway's on a bit of a low at the moment. He's struggling career-wise, at least personal life. He seems to be fine. I wouldn't be surprised if Calvin Kattar wins, but then again, I wouldn't be surprised if Max Holloway puts on an absolute clinic. So yes, let us know your predictions down below. But I think I'll go with the upset with Calvin Kattar. I think 2021 is a year he's going to kick off and really stomp his ground in that featherweight division and say he's a true contender. But again, Max Holloway is blessed, and you wouldn't put it past him to get a 5-round decision here. Just a quick recap of the fights that we've had already. Of course, opening up, Austin Lingo got the win against Jacob Kilburn, of course, via decision. All of them were decisions in the prelims. It's only since we got to the main card that we started getting some finishes. But again, Vanessa Mayo defeated Sarah Morris. Ramazan Imayev beat David Savada from Germany, and Carlos Felipe and Justin Tether put on a phenomenal performance. That third round was sublime to open up the year, and those two just didn't back down. A couple of eye pokes here and there, but again, all in good nature. And then Jocelyn Edwards and defeated Yanan Wu, sorry, should I say, with, I think she's the first female, definitely the first female Panama fighter, I believe, and she got the win tonight and looked phenomenal doing it. Although, actually, I was going to say she almost sunk in the armbar in the first round, didn't she? Make sure, if you're watching on Facebook, make sure to hit that like and follow button. If you're watching on Twitch, hit that follow button. Subscribe if you want as well. And then, if you're watching on YouTube, of course, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Conor McGregor back from next week, BT Sport, making the most of the promotion here this weekend. Who do you think gets it done, McGregor, Poirier? Let us know in the comments down below as well. Let's get a couple of predictions for next week. Is McGregor going to be the lightweight champion this week, maybe? Or this year, should I say, not this week? I think he might be the favourite, the bookie's favourite for it, just because of the name he is. But you've got Charles Oliveira down there, Justin Gaethje, Dan Hooker should get a win, Michael Chandler, former Bellator champion, of course. All of them top competitors, and obviously Dustin Poirier is a top competitor. You know, you've got two interim champions, former interim champions in that division. You've got the lightweight champion Conor McGregor, and you've got, you know, the former champ from Bellator at that weight class as well. Apparently, Tashiro called out John Anik in the post-fight interview, saying he only interviews the winner of the fights, which is probably not too something not to be too expected. You can't be expected to interview both winners and the losers. Maybe the losers, if they've been in a close fight, maybe a Dustin Poirier, Dan Hooker, maybe at that point you give them both some interview time. But you only really get that when there's a retirement as such. We've got the promotion on for ABC at the moment. Quite a big day for the UFC if you're in the UK. But I think it's a bit like getting UFC on the BBC. Obviously, had Bellator on BBC back in October, which was a huge landmark, although they maybe not covered themselves in glory BBC for the coverage of the MMA. Brand new Etihad Arena just built, I think this year, or within the last year at least, for this event. Well, this event is the first one, but the Etihad, what Etihad are doing as a brand, obviously owners of Manchester City and many clubs around the world. But they know how to build a stadium and put on a good event, don't they? Even if there is only 2,000 people in the arena at the moment, it's going to be interesting to see what sort of crowd reaction McGregor has next weekend, of course. So, right, our stream's gone down. BT Sport not working right now. And we are back. Ponzinibbio up next. Still got the third longest active winning streak in the welterweight division at 6, or at 7, sorry, looking to get to 8 and matching Leon Edwards, who hasn't thought. Well, actually, to be fair, Leon Edwards hasn't thought since 2019, only 6 months after Ponzinibbio's last fight, which was obviously against Neil Magny, that vicious knockout against Neil Magny back at the back end of 2018, of course. But, he's had a torrid time if you watch Layla. And it leads 5 reasons to watch this card, and I hope you are. She was going through all his medical issues and the postponements he's had. Couple cancelled fights here and there. He's not had a good couple of years, and the fact that he's back in tonight is phenomenal. The first card of the year, and if he gets back to winning ways, he'll obviously be back in that top end of that welterweight division. I think he's 8th or 9th at the moment, and we were saying earlier in the preview that Magny's at 8 at least, and so you'd be expecting both of those to remain in that top 8, top 7 this week. Obviously, you've got Chiesa and Magny going on, so that might play a part in where Ponzinibbio ends up in this weight class. Come the rankings come, I guess it'll be next week now, won't it? But yes, Ponzinibbio up next. He, of course, I think he asked to fight Leon Edwards at least a couple of months ago when Leon Edwards couldn't find a fight. Obviously, Stephen Thompson, Ponzinibbio, all those sort of names in those top 7 called out Leon Edwards, but obviously Leon Edwards has now got Hamzat Chimaev, which has now had a third rematch or rebooked date after a positive COVID test and a hand injury to Hamzat Chimaev. Xing Li, of course, coming in to cause the upset. He is on a 1-fight loss streak, also losing to Neil Magny, but again, someone who's very class in that division and someone still very much upcoming. For the UK fans watching, how nice is it to have a card at 9 p.m. and we're almost at the co-main event? It's not very often we get a good card at that time. It's a shame that next week's isn't at a similar time. Of course, Conor McGregor, huge Irish fan base, but they want that American time slot, I guess, for UFC 257, of course, being on ESPN as well. Won't be long until they start to walk out now. Just going for the BT Sport adverts, which is always lovely, isn't it? Talking about the welterweight division, obviously got Kamaru Usman versus Gilbert Burns. I think in February, is it? Or is it March? Might be March, but it's going to be on a triple header card at least with Megan Anderson and Amanda Nunes. And I believe the bantamweight title, Petty Yan versus obviously Aljamain Sterling, which is very much deserved for Sterling. I'm glad they reboot that fight, which was meant to take place at UFC 256, of course, when Megan Anderson and Nunes was going to be fighting, of course, for that featherweight title. Only £20 for the Poirier McGregor card. I'll take £19. It just with the price of that. Be back into the action very soon. Make sure to hit that like button, that follow button, and subscribe button if you're on the YouTube page, of course. Doing a lot more content this year. Had a little couple of weeks off with no UFC on at least, and now we're back and ready for the year. Ponzinibbio entering the cage now, first time in over 2 years, and he's finally in there. Are we expecting him to get a win? Get your predictions down in the comments below, of course. We'll read some of them out. Throughout the tape, of course, Ponzinibbio versus Xing Yang, 28-3 versus 17-6, both 6 foot, both 170, 73-inch reach there for Ponzinibbio versus 71.5 inches, and identical leg reach. So these are pretty much identical fighters, definitely to cage, albeit not the same styles. But this could be a very good fight, I reckon. And the welterweight division is bubbling away, isn't it? Obviously, we're in that passing the guard state with the Wonder Boys, your Robbie Lawlers, your Tyron Woodleys maybe on their way up, but you got Kamaru Usman, Gilbert Burns, Leon Edwards still very much in their prime, or at least coming up to their prime still. And you got 33-year-old Ponzinibbio, you probably put him somewhere in between those two. Get predictions in the comments down below. Is Ponzinibbio able to get the win? He's going to continue that streak and match Leon Edwards' 8-fight winning streak so far. Jason Herzog refereeing this one, obviously the best referee in the game so far at the moment. He speaks multiple languages. He always seems to get a decision rate. Don't seem to get many wrong at the moment. And maybe we look at Mark Goddard and Herb Dean as the upper echelon of referees because we know how long they've been doing it and how elite. They're always doing title fights and main events. But Jason Herzog's slowly creeping up on them, I believe. And here we go. Ponzinibbio starting now in the blue trunks, red gloves, of course, and we've got Lee in the red trunks, blue gloves. Always messing me up with that. Ponzinibbio taking stance in the middle of the octagon again. Attempted leg kick. He must be buzzing to get in there. I wonder what that adrenaline rush is like, especially in front of 2,000 fans as well. Was supposed to be fighting Robbie Lawler just over a year ago, and obviously Muslim Salikov. At the start? No, actually on tonight, of course. I keep forgetting. I keep looking at the day and it wasn't set year, but it was actually meant today. But a different opponent, and I'm sure he doesn't care because he gets to do what he loves for the first time in 2 years. Not too much action right now. Both of them feeling the others out. Get lots of feints in there at the moment. Lots of movement. Obviously, both of them dry, very fresh. This is definitely going to be a striking game, I reckon. Good Kattar there from Lee. Obviously, Kattar gets become very predominant in the sport at the moment, killing that leg, whether it's front or rear leg. Another card kick there. Lee seems to be targeting those cards at the moment. Maybe. Oh, that's a heavy one there from Ponzinibbio himself. Sounds like a baseball bat. These two are pretty much identical, really, aren't they? Both throwing each other out. Interesting to see what happens if we get into the second or third rounds, what and how they change their game plans. Good head movement from both of them as well. Oh, good connection there. Good right hand flare from Lee. Lee doing the better work here, just about. Looking a little bit fresher, which is probably to be expected because he has thought a lot recently. Dan Ponzinibbio, of course. So maybe expected to see Lee have a bit of a fast start and see Ponzinibbio maybe grow into this fight. One minute left to go this first round. And again, a very close round. It'll probably end up to Lee just about. But yeah, tough one to score. Not too much action. Both of them not clean too landly. None of them had a huge connection. But again, both it's almost like playfulness at this point. Good connection there with the left. Good right. And Ponzinibbio is down. And Lee has knocked out Santiago Ponzinibbio. We're not getting out the first round. Jesus. That was a good connection there. We haven't seen any of that, but the first one he's thrown with that sort of power landed and has knocked out Santiago Ponzinibbio. Not the return he would have wanted. Lance in the group chat will be crying right now. Unfortunately, seeing his boy get knocked out. But that's going to throw him right into the mix now for the welterweight division, because obviously Ponzinibbio's in the rankings until it'd taken a year or two out. I was like Tatiana Suarez with those injuries. They get taken out the rankings, but as soon as they fight again, they get put straight back in. And we have the same sort of scenario here, I'd imagine. But Lee's got that win. It's a banging left hook. It's an amazing left hook. Clean on the chin of Ponzinibbio. A beautiful connection. And Jason Herzog coming in. Beautifully timed stoppage. It's seen enough. But you don't want to be seeing him getting more damage in the ground and pound on the floor when it's not needed. But yes, that's the end of the streak for Ponzinibbio, isn't it? 7-fight win streak up in smoke, but Zhang Li back into the win column. And he's got some heavy power in there now. Who's on nice to co-main event? 3 finishes in a row on this card at the moment. On main card at least, no finishes in the prelims. But it's certainly picked up now, hasn't it? Giving us the action. And we are back. Lee just making his interview in Santiago at 4 o'clock in China. Remember, obviously, these two. I think when it's a 3 a.m. card, at least they fight at 9 a.m. in the morning for the main event. So I guess it's 4 p.m. in China, I'd imagine. I guess it's got to be, what, 2, let's say 1, 2 p.m. over there. Actually, no, that doesn't sound right. 4 a.m., I guess he means, doesn't it? It's 4 in the morning over in China. So they're ahead. So yeah, still fighting in the middle of the night, which is a bit harsh on the fighters. You'd expect them to be fighting, 8, 9 p.m. their local time for them, and then fix around maybe TV schedule, but it doesn't work like that, does it? I guess. But that's a huge knockout win for Lee. It's up there with the top 6, top 5 most knockouts in welterweight history at 7, and obviously the next fight, Matt Brown being the top of that with 11. course, the notorious Conor McGregor returns next week, of course, and we'll be doing content around that. It'll be silly not to, won't it? What do you reckon? Does Conor get it done again, 2-0, or does Dustin Poirier come back and equal the scoring up at 1-1, and maybe book a rematch with Khabib Nurmagomedov? Dustin Poirier's been on a hot streak since that loss. Obviously, he's lost to Khabib and Eddie Alvarez, I believe. Or at least has a no contest. But since then, he's been on a very hot streak. A year to the day since McGregor was last in the octagon. Now, of course, UFC Thor 6 against Cowboys where only lasted 40 seconds, of course. Is maybe Octagon risk going to play a part in him, but he's looked in phenomenal shape in the build up to this camp, so I doubt it. When McGregor's focused, he's very much the ultimate professional by the sounds of things and by the look of things too. But as is Dustin Poirier. Thoughts on the main event, Charlie? I think it's going to be a close one. I think it's going to go to 4 or 5 rounds. I think it's going to be one of those. I reckon by the end of December, we're looking at it as a fight of the year contender, or maybe recency bias will play a part into that, with it being the first attempt of the year. Both of them have amazing, incredible gas tanks. Both of them have the ability to knock out a fighter, but again, like to draw out their prey, you could say. But I feel for Max Holloway. I think he's in a bit of a dangerous spot at the moment in terms of the sport. If he loses tonight, 3 losses in a row for the first time in his career, he's already, he's only had two losses in a row or twice in his career now, but once before he's never had 3 in a row. But Calvin Kattar, there's something about him, obviously. Fantastic boxing pedigree. He probably would have beaten Zabit Magomedov if there was 10 more minutes in that fight. I think he's probably next in line for a title if he gets the win tonight. Obviously, Brian Ortega has to fight Volkanovski first, but if Kattar gets a win tonight, puts him up as number 1 contender in my opinion. Especially if he gets a knockout or impressive finish, because no one really finishes Max Holloway, do they? Not since. Well, actually, I don't even know when the last time he was finished. Oh, since Dustin Poirier the first time back in 2012. So, yeah, no one finishes Max Holloway. So, to get finished over him, you're pretty much guaranteed a title shot, in my opinion. But I think, if I had to put a guess on it and put money on it, which I'm not today, I'd say probably Calvin Kattar via decision. But, yes, I wouldn't be surprised. Again, I'm a huge Max Holloway fan, at least. And I think he's been phenomenal. But I'd like to see him take a year or 2 out, maybe build some muscle up. Maybe go to lightweight if he can do that, because he's got the frame for it in terms of height, but he just, he needs to build up a little bit more, similarly to how John Jones moved up to heavyweight. Maybe if Holloway can do the same, perhaps. But equally, even though he's won, he's won 2 of his last 5 fights. All of them have gone distance. All of them he's taken a lot of strikes in. Maybe not so much in that Ortega fight, but again, all of the last 5 fights are going to add up on him at the moment. Let us know your predictions in the comments down below, of course, as well. Co-main event up next. Carlos Condit, Matt Brown. This is one for the OGs, I guess. It's surprising it's not happened before, I guess. But I was watching Brett Okamoto saying earlier it's been booked 3 times and it only happened now, which is crazy. It was meant to happen almost 8 years ago, back in 2013. going to be expecting a finish here, I guess. But for who? Let you know predictions down in the comments below. How impressive! How impressive is this Fight Island? Of course, if you're a Formula One fan, you know all about Fight Island with the W Hotel over there. Obviously, it's very close to the track there, and obviously when he had arena tonight for the first time as well. First time for free events, and probably the future of Fight Island events, you'd imagine. Be back on very soon. Just getting through the adverts. It is a drawn out process, isn't it? Any football fans in the comments? United Liverpool tomorrow, big fight or big game, should I say? Main event worthy, pay per view worthy. You could say first versus second. Charlie, thanks for the comments. I thought Brown looked really bad at the weigh-ins, and after getting KO'd in his last fight, I can see Condit stopping him in the third, maybe. Interesting. I didn't see how he looked on the weigh-ins, but again, he's 40 years of age. He's probably very drawn out, making that 170 now. It does get harder the older you get, and obviously he's 4 losses in 6 fights isn't a good one, is it? And Condit's coming off the win against Court McGinn, impressive win as well, albeit a decision win. So you might be right. Maybe he's going to say it's stopped in third, but obviously the immortal Matt Brown, he's titled that for a reason, and maybe. But I think it's a good shot. Good shot. Either way, it could be interesting to see someone with a record of 31 and 13 up against a record of 22 and 17. Two absolute veterans of the sport and of the game, and 100% UFC Hall of Famers. It does make me feel kind of a little bit sad that I got into the game so late, into the sport so late. 2016, missed a lot of incredible fights and peaks of a lot of fighters like the Anderson Silvers. Coming up to co-main time now. Both of them about to make the walk any minute now. Get your predictions for the co-main event: Carlos Condit versus Matt Brown. Get your predictions down below, of course. good promo. I mean, the UFC promo is always good, but a good build up to this fight. A lot of respect, friendly competition. But the fact that this fight's been made 3 times, they want to get it done, and they're about to in 5 minutes. One of the most brutal elbows in combat sports, I reckon. I can't let you watch, I'm afraid. I'll get pulled and get the channel shut down, which is not what I want right now. But do make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you're watching on Facebook, hit that follow button and that like button. We're on the road to 2K followers now. And if you're watching on Twitch, again, make sure to hit that follow button. It's the first Twitch stream we've done. And we're going to be doing a lot more of them this year. One more set of adverts. The UFC do love to draw things out, don't they? Maybe that is their one sort of. Well, there's a couple of things we critique, but that'd definitely be one of them. To recap earlier, what you make of the news, Khabib Nurmagomedov leaving the door open. Obviously, he made his, I guess, unofficial, you could say, now retirement at UFC 254. But, he met with Dana White this week, and Dana White said on the broadcast earlier that he's looking, he's keeping the door open. If someone impressed him next week, Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, Dan Hooker, Vagochana, if someone puts a very impressive performance, making him want to come back, then he should come back, or he should come back. But he's not going to be keeping the division on hold. So it depends on if he sees a newcomer or a challenger worthy maybe of his, it is time to become 30-0. But maybe we do see him in the cage again. I think he wants to, in terms of his age and maybe his ego says he wants to, but of course, promises that he's made, things that happen in his personal life. He's had a very tough year, obviously losing his father. So, you couldn't take away the fact that he wants to retire. Not being able to do the sport he loves with the person he's loved the most and helped him get through it the most. So it does make sense if he stayed retired. But I do think we see him fight at least once more and try to get 30-0. But that's when my grudge comes in, because it's almost tempting fate too much, isn't it? Take a Carlos Condit's last 5 fights before they get into the cage. Obviously, most recently is when he gets caught McGee, but since then, well, before that, all 4 losses. Michael Chiesa, Alex Oliveira, and Noah Magny, Damien Maya. And even before that, I lost to Rory Lawler. All, absolute studs, top level opposition. And they are in the cage now, at least. But yes, not the best of times, but he is coming on this on a win at least. Matt Brown, last 5 fights, beat Diego Sanchez and Ben Saunders, but lost to Miguel Bieza, Donald Cerrone, Jake Ellenberger, and Damien Maya before that. Let's have a quick look, of course, at the tail of the tape. 31 and 30, as we mentioned, against 22 and 17. Both of them over 40 fights. Well, this is Matt Brown's 40th fight on his professional record. And you got 45 coming up for Condit tonight. Both 6-2, both 170. Half an inch reach advantage there for Carlos Condit, and an inch reach in the legs as well. But again, don't expect this to go the full distance. These two, know how to smell blood and want to get the finish. Leonardo, no fights are going to be shown in here, lad. It's just a watch along, but make sure to hit that follow button, of course. And we get to Bruce Buffer making the introductions for the second to last time tonight. It's flown by. Carlos Condit looking very mean right now as he stands across the octagon from Matt Brown. Looks very ready. This one is going to be fireworks, I reckon. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram as well at CageChat MMA. I think links are in the bio at least, or the description for the YouTube channel. And here we go. Mark Goddard standing in the octagon for this one. All 3 of them OGs and legends of the fight game now. It's quite fitting. Got Matt Serra at cage side alongside Dana White, and here we go. Oh, this one's getting off to a thigh crack already. Condit with a high kick. Matt Brown taking the center of the cage. Oh, good leg kick. This is going to be an absolute brawl. None of these are going to stand back and stand off the opponent. These are striking already. Couple misses, good head movement, good lateral movement as well. But these two are certainly looking for that knockout. Good low kick there again from Condit. Very, very fast first minute of the 5-minute first round that we got. A good clinch there from Matt Brown. He gets the takedown there up against the cage. Fantastic work there. He ducked the strike and went straight in there for it. Be interesting to see how Condit deals with this now. Could be interesting to see how Condit gets out of this one. Matt Brown with some good ground and pound strikes there. Broadcast team saying someone's bleeding. I think it is Matt Brown. I can't show the fight, I'm afraid. We'll get cancelled. Again, good work here from Matt Brown, keeping Condit up against the fence. And there's that proclaimed elbow that he's known for. Condit still putting up some good defense though. Still looking very strong here. Looking to keeping that guard there. Some good strikes too. Sounds like Matt Brown got himself on the cage. I wonder if we see, I said it's because Dan Hardy's on the commentary team. I wonder if we see Dan Hardy in cage. He was tempting it back last year, but I think COVID probably had maybe a lot to play with that. It was looking like he was going to fight in London in March. That got cancelled, but we haven't seen him since. But he's still training and very much, he would be perfect in there with a Matt Brown, with a Carlos Condit. You don't want to arrange Robbie Lawless. Obviously, he is 170. Carlos Condit looking for the armbar here, maybe. 1 minute 20 left on the clock. Good elbow there again from Matt Brown. We expect nothing less. Minute to go in the round. It's not bad as having a co-main event at 4:45 in the evening instead of 4:30 in the morning, 5:30. Still tired though, for some reason. Must just be a thing. Matt Brown winning the round here quite comfortably now with the ground and pound, kept him down for a good 3 minutes. So yeah, you'd be expecting him to get the 10-9 scorecard for this first round. Oh, fantastic switch there from Carlos Condit. That was slick. 20 minutes left to go. Some ground and pound of the zone for the last couple of seconds here. It's a good fight so far. Considering both of these are in their latter end of their career. Both very energetic. Both very, putting in a good scrap here. And that's the end of the first round. We make it to the second. Matt Brown bleeding there on his forehead. Quite a big cut too. Probably be saying more of the same for Matt Brown, but Carlos Condit, keep it on the feet as much as you can. He was probably winning the striking battle, you could say, but Matt Brown got that takedown in it and he controlled it for the rest of the round with quite little from Carlos Condit in return until those last 20 seconds. They had a little submission here. We've not had a submission in 2021 yet, and obviously not tonight. Would have been the first event. But a submission would be nice. So I don't think we're getting a submission in the main event. I think that's going a full distance, boxing match pretty much. Depends which Holloway turns up. If he wants to come up and kill, then maybe he will. But we know how tough Calvin Kattar is. And we kick off the second round, of course. Carlos Condit is definitely winning a striking battle and he's come out fast again out the gates with a couple high kicks. All missing though, unfortunately. There's the elbow there from Matt Brown, but he's fired that good front kick. And now a high kick. Matt Brown may be looking for the kill here, but Carlos Condit looks fine at the moment. He doesn't look too hurt. But again, the two OGs putting on a good performance here. Good leg kick. Oh, good right hook there from Condit and a kick to the body. Matt Brown returns with the right. This is picking up now. And there we go again with the takedown there from Matt Brown, but Carlos Condit, fantastic defense there from the man. And we keep it on the feet for now. Oh, Carlos Condit down, but just a slip. Get your predictions down for the main event down in the comments below, of course, or in the chat below. Here we go now. Nice clinch work here. Good knee there from Matt Brown. And they break out the clinch. Oh, fantastic combination there from Carlos Condit. Give him a 4-piece there. Not with the soda, though. Good kick to the body. And they're up against the cage again. Clinching up there now. Good work here. Still in the clinch there. Good knee up the middle there from Brown. Matt Brown, the stronger of the wrestlers here, keeping the pressure on Carlos Condit, keeping him up against the cage. And Condit seems to be struggling, but they break now, and they're going to go back to a boxing match, I think. These two are enjoying it in there at least. Oh, fantastic. That was a fantastic takedown there from Condit. He's looking to take the back. He's still got the right leg of Matt Brown at the back up now. And another fantastic takedown. There's two in a quick succession there for Condit. That was beautiful stuff. And now we see Condit on top in the second round. And the first round, it was all Matt Brown, but see if Condit can get it back and maybe get the scorecards back to 1-1 for a third round. Or maybe look for the finish here with a submission. We know how good Matt Brown is too. Good elbow there from Condit. Again, another good solid elbow there. And it goes to the body with a ground and pound. Looking up to weaken up that gas tank. Get another elbow. Both of these, they're legends in their own right, but both have been struggled when they're on the bottom, which probably is more of a compliment to the opposition with how good they are on their top game and how dangerous they both are. Oh, got him almost inside. Well, he's inside control now. He's looking for that crucifix perhaps. But Jesus, this is a good scrap. Fantastic fight between the two. And we're looking to get to the last 30 seconds of the round now. I'd say it's one apiece going to the final one. "20 seconds left to go of this second round. Still Condit on top here. Probably see a finish in this third round. Both of them are going to be shattered coming into this final round as well. Couple last elbows there, and we get to the end of the round. And a phenomenal round there from Carlos Condit. Fantastic round there from the man. He got a takedown, 2 takedowns in fact, and he looked phenomenal since then with the ground and pound. But yes, again, be interested to see what we hear from the corners now. More of the same probably for Carlos Condit because he looked good here. Although maybe flip it from the first round. I'd say if you have Carlos Condit in the last round or in the last break coming into the second, you're saying right, keep doing the same as you are now. You know, your striking's good, try and keep it on the feet. But now you're probably flipping the script because Matt Brown had some good exchanges there. You know, both of them are fantastic strikers and fantastic grapplers as well. So it is a very even fight. It's going to be interesting to see how they change their game after this third round. I'm more tired than they are. Big cut above the right eyebrow, or might have been left eyebrow of Matt Brown. That's a fantastic trip there from Carlos Condit. Showing it on the replay now. And we're going to the third and final round. Probably wasn't expecting that from these two. And there's a groin kick to kick off the round. An extra couple of minutes to those two now. The rest. Shame that because that was going very smoothly. And now we get a little break. You won't take it though, because Matt Brown's an absolute gangster and an OG. And we continue going off 15 seconds after a break. You see many people taking 5 rounds or 5 minutes off. But these two continue. Good head kick there from Condit, but nothing too damaging. Oh, good exchange there from Condit. Boxing seems to be very slick there from Condit tonight. And they clinch up again up against the cage, but breakaway. Matt Brown and Carlos Condit back into the center of the cage. They seem to like to stand inside that sort of mini octagon design that they got on the canvas. Clinching up again. Condit looking for the takedown. Oh, good trip there from Matt Brown, but Condit back up. Oh, Condit's got a backer. Matt Brown now after Matt Brown got the takedown or attempted the takedown. He's got the hooks in. This could be the end. Well, this could be close to the end. Carlos Condit right in the back now of Matt Brown for the minute. Looking to get that hand away so he can get him on the floor and flattened out. Oh, he's got his foot out. He's going to try and look for the rear naked choke here, perhaps. He's still trying to free those arms, I think, and get some room under the neck. This is a fantastic fight, considering what they're 40 and what 36. These two are absolutely giving it some. Brand position there for Carlos Condit. He's looking for some attempts here. He's looking to get some space in there so he can get maybe an armbar or a rear naked choke. He's focused on the ground and pound for now, softening Matt Brown up. Carlos Condit taking control in the second round, you'd have to say. You know, he's controlling the groundwork now, ground game. It's all him at the moment. And Matt Brown's looking very tired and very warm. But again, we know the heart he's got and, you know, he doesn't give up. But this is some good striking now from Carlos Condit. And, you know, if you probably only see maybe a minute left of this, maybe at this velocity and this. I guess how this fight's going at the moment. You only see a minute of it before the rest maybe steps in, and he's looking to get this. He's almost sunk in a rear naked choke here. Matt Brown's up. Oh, fantastic work there from Matt Brown, who's now looking for a takedown of his own. That was fantastic work there from the Immortal. I keep forgetting that there's a crowd in the arena. Not had it for a few months, but now they're back in. Oh, look at the triangle here. 1 minute 30 left on the clock, of course. It is nice to hear that cheer and that roar from the crowd instantly, rather than seeing the feedback on Twitter and social media. Albeit I do enjoy seeing or hearing at least the corners chatting, the fighters chatting. It does make it a little bit more exciting, a little bit more different as it would usually be. Ooh. Carlos Condit on the back here. Matt Brown on top, lays in a nice elbow, but Condit still doing the better work off his back at the moment. Keeping Matt Brown busy, tapping him up. And Condit's back up. Done very nicely there. Matt Brown still trying to attack the legs and getting back to the ground, but Carlos Condit seems a bit too strong. Matt Brown just got the right ankle now, and Condit's got himself free. There's an elbow of his own. And he's going to get a takedown, and that should be that. Matt Brown rolls it on top. That was fantastic there from Matt Brown. And now he lays an elbow of his own. These two are going out. These two deserve fight at night. I don't care. These two have brought it. None of them are let up. None of them have given up. This is just seeing two legends of the sport going at it and not giving up. This is what this sport's about. But yeah, both of them are very close with octagon or ground control time. Minute 53 and a minute in round 3 for the pair of them, with Condit just edging that by well, almost a minute, I guess. But we're coming towards the end of that fight, and you'd be expecting a 29-28 Carlos Condit, I'd imagine. That's how I scored it personally, but fantastic fight. And, you know, this fight should have happened 8 years ago. It probably should have happened 2 or 3 times by now. But we saw it for the first time. A fantastic fight. It's just a shame that we've not seen it in either of those two's peaks. Yeah, I'd agree, Mark. I think, yeah, Carlos Condit 29-28 on the scorecards. I want to see why. Well, I didn't see how maybe Matt Brown could edge the scorecards. No, he definitely won the first round, but Condit definitely won 2 and 3. Carlos Condit did get the win. He's doing his octagon speech now. Octagon interview there. Was it 29-28 on the scorecards? My connection went there, so I lost it there. Wow. So 30-27 on the scorecards. Don't really agree with that, but again, I agree with the victor. So I guess that's all that matters. But 30-27 for Carlos Condit does seem a little, a little fetched, because I think it was 29-28 nonetheless. But again, that was a good fight. And that was Carlos Condit's last fight on his current contract, of course. But after that performance, he doesn't look like he's done. Again, 36 years of age, it could still want to put a good performance for the next year or two. Give them a 3-fight contract, 4-fight contract, and listing him. See what we can do for another year and a half, perhaps. He's on a 2-fight win streak now as well. Dan Hardy wants the Santiago versus Carlos Condit. That's a fight that'd be very decent and one that everyone would enjoy. It's nice to see the Octagon interviews taking place not on the screens that have been doing last year. Going through Stephen A. Smith's promo now for his show on ESPN Plus. I don't think he's still won the MMA fans ever since last year. Coming up to the main event now, Max Holloway versus Kattar, of course, closing out the show. Been a phenomenal card, some good performances, some fantastic knockouts. But now, main event time. Max Holloway, former featherweight champion, should I say, even. 3 title defenses, 2 wins over Jose Aldo, the greatest, I think, or consensus greatest, maybe. It's either him or Aldo or Holloway at the end of the day, I think, the greatest featherweights in the UFC at least. But, this could be a good one. I think CageChat could cause a good upset here. And I don't think, it's not the biggest upset in the world. No, he's a fantastic boxer, a fantastic striker. And, he puts on a good performance, and he has done, albeit that minor blip with against Zabit, of course. In fact, let's take a look at their last 5 fights, of course. As I mentioned, Calvin Kattar on a 2-fight win streak, having beaten Danny again at KO against Jeremy Stephens at 2-9, that brutal elbow that the Immortal would have been proud of. Who's just fought and then obviously lost to Zabit, but probably would have won that. Was there 10 minutes more? So it's a tough one to sort of call that one because it's a loss on his record, but it wasn't a deserving loss, you could say. But Ricardo Lamas and Chris Fishgold round out his last 5 fights, 4 wins and 1 loss. But it's very much a different story for Max Holloway at the moment. You forget he was a champion just a year ago. Well, just over a year ago, but he's lost 3 fights. Obviously, one of those being against Dustin Poirier in an interim lightweight title bout. He obviously put a clinic on against Brian Ortega. And obviously, he's he beat Frank Edgar, but all of them went the distance, albeit Brian Ortega, went 4 rounds going into the 5th. There was a doctor stoppage. But yeah, it's interesting to see what happens. But these two are going to be making a walk now. Of course. But yeah, get your predictions in the comments down below, of course. We're minutes away from the main event kicking off. It's going to be some fantastic fight. Yeah, I'm buzzing for this one. I'm almost ashamed because they didn't promote it, obviously, with Conor fighting next week. They didn't promote it as much as maybe it deserved. They only really started promoting it this week, or maybe Friday last week when it was, just a week left to go. But they've been very much focused on McGregor since then. And maybe, it's a pay-per-view. It is Conor McGregor, so maybe it works out, unfortunately, like that. These two are, Max Holloway at least is a star in it himself. Can't let you watch the fights, I'm afraid. I get cancelled on here. Can't do that, you get done for copyright. How many of you thought Max Holloway won that last fight against Dawkins as well? A lot of people coming in and saying, on another day, he could be walking into this one as champion, perhaps. But unfortunately, he didn't quite get that, did he? Everyone make sure to hit that like and follow button on the CageChat page, of course. But yes, Max Holloway is up very soon. Take a look at the featherweight ranks, of course. You see that Alex Volkanovski at the throne of the featherweight division, and rightfully so. Max Holloway still number 1 contender, but Brian Ortega will be challenging Alex Volkanovski at UFC 260. The beating Yair should be fighting at some point, but Yair's got to come back from a suspension. In April, we've got Korean Zombie who lost to Brian Ortega. Obviously, Calvin Cage really wins tonight. Will go into that number 1 spot, you would say, for the next opportunity. I'd like to see him rematch maybe Zabit if Yair can't fight. Then we've got the likes of Jeremy Stephens, Arnold Allen, and Sadiq Youssef still in the wings there. Maybe do Kattar versus Rodriguez if you want a fresh matchup as well. But yeah, if Kattar wins tonight, I'd be expecting him to start a title challenge maybe against Alex Volkanovski or Brian Ortega, and we could see them fight in July maybe or August at latest. Just going through the promos now. Hawaii versus Boston. he did put an absolute clinic on against Brian Ortega, didn't he? But Brian Ortega looked phenomenal his last fight against a Korean zombie. And we kick off with the walkouts now. Obviously, Kattar with that famous tune that he walked out to from being from Boston. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head right now. My apologies. It's a class walkout tune though. (21-6) up against 22-4. You know, it is a very, very close fight. Both of them almost identical in terms of reach, height, of course, as well. Kattar 32, Max Holloway 30, albeit, or well, it'd be he's 30 now. I know he's 30 this year. Sorry, but yes, 29, going on 30 this year, coming into his prime. You'd expect. But yeah, it's interesting to see how this works out. Both of them fantastic boxers. You know, we've seen the talent that Calvin Kattar is many times now, and Max Holloway, we've seen him grow up in the sport and in the forefront of the UFC as well. But it'd be interesting to see. You know, just listen to Dan Riley there. You know, Calvin Kattar can be a slow starter. Max Holloway always starts off the block and keeps you instant pressure for 5 rounds. It's be interesting to see. You know, if we see Max Holloway 2 rounds up, does Calvin Kattar overtake, or does the experience of Holloway being in these main events and these high level title fights almost take over for him? But then again, have a look at the top 5 fights again. If he's not on a pay-per-view, he's headlining the card there, Calvin Kattar. So, he's in a phenomenal position himself. And he's from a superstar. This is his 3rd main event in terms of fight nights, or 4th maybe, but definitely 3rd at least. Both of them have extremely high strike rates as well. I wouldn't be too surprised if we see a doctor's coming in at some point. And we see Volkanovski tweeting the eyes at the moment. He's getting ready to see maybe his next challenger after Brian Ortega. And Max Holloway's making a walk now. Unfortunately, he hasn't got his son Rush there. His son's always been at his fight since he's been born, pretty much. But obviously, due to travel restrictions and whatnot, wasn't able to travel out to Abu Dhabi this time. Max Holloway making his way into the arena now. Nate Diaz on Twitter giving Condit and Brown both very high plaudits there. Will the best be blessed tonight? Who knows? He looked healthy in weigh-ins, doesn't he, considering he had that problem back in 2018 when he was supposed to be fighting Khabib, obviously trying to make weight on very short notice. Didn't go well for him, and he had some medical problems with that. And he's not looked, I don't know if he's fully recovered from that or if it's taken, 10% out of this game, maybe 5% out of this game. At this level of margins, the finest of margins can, make you a champion or make you someone who gets cut potentially. Not that I'm saying Max will get cut because he's too big of a superstar and still very young. Yeah, we had this other quick take final fight of the night, of course, 21-6 versus 22-4. Both 5'11", both hit that 146-pound mark, 145-pound division. They're in, of course, 69-inch reach advantage. Got a 72-inch reach there for Calvin Kattar. And a 2-inch reach advantage there for Max Holloway, of course. Both got Kattar at 32, Max at 29. Bruce Butler giving us the all famous "It's time" announcements now. Minutes away from this main event kicking off. Do you think it goes the full distance? Give us your predictions in the comments down below. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure to hit that like and follow button on the page as well. Do content every day, every week, pretty much now. Covering UFC, PFL, Bellator, and all other MMA promotions, Cage Warriors especially as well. Their trilogy coming up in March as well. Both of them looking in decent shape here. Two of them standing off in the middle of the octagon now. Herb Dean, the referee for this one. Here we go, lads and girls. I'm not going to show the fight, I'm afraid. We'll get pulled off the page. The page will get deleted. And I don't really want that, to be honest. Calvin Kattar looking ready. Max Holloway looking ready, and we're about to kick off any second now. Here we go. Let's see. Both of them taking the secondary octagon, of course. Both of them in that orthodox stance as well. It's going to be a very interesting fight. They're very similar, albeit, their stances are, or their builds are quite indifferent as well. Max Holloway very long. very tentative start at the moment. Both of them, again, looking for their weigh-ins, their openings, and lots of feinting. Good striking there from Max Holloway. He's always got fantastic striking, throwing 2s and 3s. He never throws just one, does he? Good fast start here from Max as well. Calvin Kattar, sorry. Not throwing too much. Max Holloway putting on pressure at the moment, but again, nothing too serious. Good low kick there from Kattar. Interesting, no, Volkanovski the only guy. Well, I say the only guy. Volkanovski put two very good performances against Max Holloway. It'll be interesting to see how many fighters take what he done with the leg kicks away. But albeit he's a former rugby player who weighed 200 pounds, so he's going to have a lot of power in his legs. Max Holloway doing very well though. It looks game. Oh, good striking here. It might be Max Holloway clinic starting to build up here. Good low kicks. He's doing very well. He's targeting that leg and that knee. Okay, so with the oblique kicks and the calf kicks, but his striking looks very good. Kattar's not really. He looks like he's having one of those slow starts, maybe like he did against Zabit. And he can't do that against Max Holloway because once he's 2-3 rounds up, he just knows how to coast the fight out professionally. Very, very clean striking from Max Holloway this first round. Oh, Max Holloway putting it on the pressure. He's looking to get that finish, maybe putting on an absolute clinic right now. Oh, Holloway's not backing down here. This might not see the final whistle. Might be a 2-rounder, a 3-rounder maybe. Especially if Holloway keeps at this pace. 28 strikes to 14 in favour of Holloway as well. So you can see he's distributing 2 strikes more than Kattar is. Spinning back phenomenal. Max Holloway could be looking to get the finish very soon. He's serious here. I haven't seen this sort of Holloway before, or for a little while. This is phenomenal work there from Max Holloway. Fantastic first round. Kattar will stay in the fight though, but he will be worried because Max Holloway's just having fun in it right now. Here we are, round 2. Very good first round there from Max Holloway, the former champ, showing why he's still the #1 contender. But Calvin Kattar again, he's got 20 minutes to work with to improve on. He just need to come out in that second round and strike, really, throw some strikes. He was very tentative. Second round kicking underway now. Max Holloway will be looking to do the same thing, but we need to see Calvin Kattar throw more strikes. But Max Holloway taking the center direction again and just chasing Calvin Kattar down. His striking is phenomenal. It's almost like a little. It's not a pistol or a shotgun. It's more like a machine gun, just tapping away. Max is having fun in it now. He's gloating away. He's talking to Calvin Kattar. You can just about hear the murmur. You can't see what they're saying. Obviously, 2,000 people in the arena now. Oh, this is fantastic from Max Holloway. Knee up the middle. He's putting on an absolute clinic here, almost like he did against Brian Ortega. He's not had to move much in terms of, he's not wasting much energy. It's all been in strikes. And Max Holloway could be looking for a finish here. I don't know what Calvin Kattar's just had a slow start, or if he's not feeling it at the moment. Maybe I wouldn't say the opportunity's got too much for him because he doesn't seem like that sort of person. But definitely a slow start. But every strike Max Holloway throws, he's not missing. And there's only so much that Calvin Kattar can take. Max Holloway definitely wants his belt back, it seems. He's definitely not done anytime soon. Holloway's putting on an absolute clinic here. 31 strikes to the head, 13 to the body, and 10 to the legs of the Kattar. 16, 3, and 8 towards Holloway for Kattar there. Max is definitely looking for the finish this round. He's looking for a quick night. And he's putting on phenomenal work here. Whoa. Max Holloway's looking phenomenal right now. Calvin Kattar's eyes closing up his right eye. Holloway getting a chance from the crowd now. We've missed out, haven't we, from the Apex and the Empty Fire Islands that we've had last year. We've got crowds finally back in MMA and in the UFC. The pressure he's just putting on is relentless. He's got Kattar wobbled here. This isn't going to go for long. We've got a minute left of the second round, but Kattar seems done. And Max Holloway is just not stopping whatsoever. Calvin Kattar standing back up, but still very wobbled. Oh, you think this might be Matt Brown with the elbows he's laying here? This is phenomenal work. Oh my God. Max Holloway showing that the best is blessed. And he's going to be looking for another title opportunity here. Calvin Kattar's bloodied up. Very similar from the elbows that he landed on Jeremy Stephens, you could say. Albeit, this one's not. These two that Holloway's landed haven't finished Calvin Kattar. Calvin Kattar clinches up now, looking to get out of the second round. But Max Holloway's just having fun. He's just beating him up at this point. This is not very close at all. There is levels to this game by what we're looking at. 37 in the first round, 16 in Holloway's favor, 50 to 19. 85 strikes in just 2 rounds. He's landed on Calvin Kattar. And Calvin Kattar's done here. Saved by the bell, you could say. Herb Dean almost closing in there, but Calvin Kattar's just got to the end of the bell and he's smiling away there. Absolute savage, but phenomenal work there from Max Holloway. Absolute phenomenal. Go for the highlights from round 2. This might be better than the performance draw against Brian Ortega here, because Kattar's just not bringing him anything at the moment. But Kattar's ready. Maybe he's woken up a little bit. Maybe he wins his next 3 rounds. Who knows? Max Holloway's going to continue to do the same. He's so quick. He is. He doesn't hit. Well, he hits hard, but obviously he's not known as much for his power than his the loss in his volume. He's more volume striker. He's going to throw 3, 4, 5 at you rather than hit with 1 knockout punch. But he's looked phenomenal here. He's looking for the spinning back fist. Kattar ducked it though. Kattar's looking okay in his third round into the first 30 seconds. Max Holloway still looking the better of the two, which is, expected. He's much fresher right now. Elbows again, striking again from here from Holloway. He's looking phenomenal again. Kattar clinching up. Smart move there from the Bostonian. This is a phenomenal fight, guys. Absolutely phenomenal fight, especially from Max Holloway. His game plan's working to a T. Kattar coming back in this third round now. He's got the attention of Max Holloway up with a beautiful uppercut. Good front kick there. Looks like Dan Hardy is standing up on commentary at the moment. These two guys, man, absolutely throwing leather here. Phenomenal work again. Kattar's still in this fight. This work that he's putting on here, it's just phenomenal. It's a beauty to watch. He's putting on an absolute clinic, but Kattar's standing tall. He's not giving up, and he's just hit Holloway with a fantastic right hand. We know Holloway's got a strong chin. Both of these two are very, very similar. Very strong chin, very strong gas tank, good striking. But it's just that Kattar's the one bleeding at the moment. But Holloway, he's still got to keep his wits about him. He can't be, thinking he's won this fight already. Good left there from Holloway. Phenomenal fight so far, guys. 1 minute left to go on this third round. Max Holloway, it's a closer round, this one, than the second round was. Again, probably edging it to Max Holloway 30-27, maybe going to the last two. If we get out of this round, that is. Both of them throwing leather here. Both of them looking for a finish. And Max Holloway putting free throw strikes on and landing all of them. 55% landed by their Kattar. This is phenomenal work, guys. This might be fight of the year in the bag already. We've only had one event. Kattar there with the other hand. These two's boxing is phenomenal. Hardly seen any legs kicked here. Max Holloway's just having fun and he's playing here. He's absolutely playing right now. And we get to the end of the third round. Phenomenal round again. These two are giving us an absolute treat for the first UFC of the year. It's just going into round four. Just ended round three. It's probably 3 rounds apiece there for Max Holloway. But again, Kattar could have won that third round depending on how you're scoring it. But personally, I think Holloway's 3 rounds up, which means Calvin Kattar obviously needs a finish now. But Holloway's putting on a masterclass right now. Head movement phenomenal there from Max Holloway. That was phenomenal stuff. Interesting to see if Max Holloway looks at the finish now. Getting into the fourth round. Here we go. Round 4 kicking off now. Max Holloway still keeps at that pace. How he does it, I don't know. The tank on the guy is phenomenal. Maybe one of the best you've seen. He just keeps going at the same pace all round, every round. And his striking's phenomenal again. Crowd's well on its feet now. But this is a phenomenal round again. It slowed down a little bit, but again, still a phenomenal pace considering the last 3 rounds that we had. 3.5 minutes left to go. Oh, Holloway's striking is way too slick here, guys. It's an absolute masterclass. But again, Kattar's touching him here and there. If he can get a powerful shot on him, he might, he could still get the win here. But 110, 40, 20 strikes there for Holloway. 42, 12 on 12 there. So he's well over double, if not treble, the amount of strikes landed to Kattar. Kattar's looking like he's going to be weathering it. Holloway's putting on an absolute clinic now. He's not stopping whatsoever. Holloway's almost done. I mean, well, Kattar's almost done. But he's still fighting back. But again, he's so much fresher, Holloway here. Kattar's bloody, his eyes are closing up. He's covering up now up against the cage. And Holloway's putting on an absolute clinic. Nice uppercut. Holloway, Kattar's gone here. He's got a couple seconds left in him. Calvin Kattar, how are you still on your feet, mate? Max Holloway's putting an absolute clinic on here. And you'll be seeing Herb Dean maybe stop the fight very soon. Won't be hearing Dan Hardy calling for the fight to be stopped. I don't imagine with the 2,000 in the arena. Would be interesting, wouldn't it? Oh, left hand there from Kattar. But Holloway's head movement's too good. He's too fresh, too confident in there right now. This is a phenomenal piece of work here from Holloway. Hey, can we call a Fight of the Year awards already? Is it too soon to be calling a Fight of the Year? Absolute phenomenal work. Oh, knee up the middle there. Kattar's still striking back though. And it only takes one, doesn't it? Straight to the body there. Kattar's going to be in so much pain tomorrow. I've heard that empty. Jesus. 224 significant strikes out of 510 for Max Holloway landed. We've been going nearly 20 minutes. Oh, he's on 50 strikes around. That's mental. But Kattar's still surviving here. A minute left to go. Jesus, Kattar's coming back into this. Landed 2 on the chin. But now Max Holloway returns the favour here. Kattar's showing he's got proper heart here because he's been on the back foot pretty much the whole 20 minutes. But he's still there. He still knows he's got, a glimmer of hope to win this fight with a punch or an elbow. But yeah, this is phenomenal. Head kicks coming out now from Holloway as well. Okay, then Calvin Kattar's stories make the end of this round. It's phenomenal work. He looked done halfway through this round, but he's made it out. 5 more to go. Come out for the 5th and final round, guys. Do you think we make the end of the bell? Or will one of these two fall maybe at the last hurdle? Kattar's still game. Max Holloway's he looks fine, but again, his face is a little red from the power of obviously Kattar's punches. But these two are going to go hell for leather for the next 5 minutes. Max Holloway going straight to the body, of course. Jesus. Fix that later. Good work here from Holloway. Max Holloway slowing down a little bit, still throwing, a good volume considering we're 25 minutes in. This is going to go down on the highlight reel for Max Holloway. connecting to the chin perfectly here. Kattar might be done. This might be the final moments of the fight here, guys. His tweet on the broadcast. Kattar has changed stance now, gone southpaw, but Max Holloway is just pouring it on him right now. Jesus. What a way to kick off ABC, by the way, on UFC. Well, UFC on ABC, should we say. What a way to kick it off. They've been given a treat for free. And it's built nicely. You've got Neil Magny, Michael Chiesa, and then obviously McGregor Poirier next week. Spinning kick there again for Kattar. Despite, Kattar's stock's gone up the fact that he stayed in this, albeit he's not been very competitive. He's had some glimmers here, but it's been, 80% Max Holloway, 70% Max Holloway at the best. Jesus. Max Holloway's just landing every time he throws. And he's having fun again. It is similar to the Brian Ortega, albeit we've got a fifth round here that we didn't get beforehand with Ortega. Be interesting to see if Ortega beats Volkanovski at UFC 260. We will get the rematch. Ortega versus. We will get obviously the rematch between Holloway and Ortega. Oh my god! This has got fun. Holloway's pointing at the commentary team here, but Kattar's still striking. He needs to be careful though. He needs to get the end of this round because Kattar still does hit hard. But yeah, this is the best we've seen Holloway in a long, long time, maybe ever. He just looks fresh. He looks fast. He looks happy in there. Maybe he's not been so happy last time. He looks hungry as well. But he's putting on an absolute clinic. He's just talking. He's not even facing Kattar at the moment. He's just talking to the commentary team. He's talking to him, just bullying him at this point. 37, 57, 57, 87, 45 strikes in every single round. And obviously we've still got a few seconds of this round as well. 40 seconds left to go. This is fun. What a way to open up the year. Jesus, 10 seconds left to go, pretty much 12 seconds left to go. But yeah, this fight's going to be an easy win on the scorecards for Max Holloway. It's just dependent on what numbers they gave Kattar, because it's 10, 50 something. I'd say 50, 46, 50, 45 maybe. But phenomenal fight, and the two show a lot of respect. Kattar will learn a lot from this as well, because he didn't look bad, but he didn't look phenomenal either. But Max Holloway just put in an absolute clinic. Just gotta wait for the scorecards to be read out now, and but yeah, what's your scorecards? Let us know in the comments down below. Be interesting to see how they scored it. I'm seeing group chat saying 50-41. I don't think it'll be that. I don't think it'll be that sort of a wider scorecard. I think it'd be 50-44, 50-45, maybe 43 at the very lowest of Kattar. But my God, Matt Holloway just put on the performance of his career, and he's going to be continuing as the #1 contender for the near future as well. He's going to get his trilogy, or he's going to get a rematch with Brian Ortega coming up this year in June, July. What a way to crown the Etihad Arena. Going to the judges' scorecards. 50-43, 50-43, 50-43, and 50-42 for the winner, Matt Holloway, of course. The best is still blessed. And he deserved that. 50-43 is an absolutely wild scorecard, but he put on a phenomenal performance. And he's saying to him, he said to Dana, 50k for us, and he said to Kattar, don't worry, 50k for both of us. Wow. He said he's staying there for the week, and if anything happens to Poirier and McGregor, obviously one of those, he's going to be there ready. He's just been through a war for 25 minutes, and he's calling out the main event for next week's card with in an entirely different weight division. And we speak to Kattar as well. Wow, phenomenal work there. I spelled Matt Holloway wrong. Let's get rid of that. He didn't get put one L in there. There's 2 L's in there, but he didn't take an L tonight, did he? But yes, I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. Thank you all for watching. Put your thoughts down in the comments below about UFC Fight Island 7. Of course, Matt Holloway back in the win column. He put on a clinic and he looked absolutely phenomenal doing so. Calvin Kattar going to have to return back to the drawing board. Put him up against maybe Korean Zombie. Both of them on losses now. That'd be a phenomenal fight. But we'll have the review maybe tomorrow. I think it will be tomorrow actually because I've got the card on Wednesday. So yes, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're watching on Twitch. Make sure to hit follow, and make sure to hit subscribe on YouTube, follow, like, and all that stuff on Facebook. And we'll see you guys on the next one.